What's up, you guys? Welcome to the April 26th edition of NBA 3-Ball presented by Established The Run. I'm your host, Mike Gallagher, getting ready to recap some of the Sunday action, talk some injury news for Monday and beyond for some teams, and we'll do some fantasy ads. 3 weeks to go. Home stretch, fantasy playoffs for pretty much everybody, I imagine now. So let's do this in 10 minutes. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe, please. Starting with the 76ers and their loaded injury report. Ben Simmons is going to miss another game for an illness. 5th game. Crazy. I hope he's okay. Joel Embiid, that shoulder soreness that made him a scratch on Saturday, has him questionable. Tobias Harris, also questionable with that knee injury that's been bothering him. Also, Furkan Korkmaz, also questionable. So, lots we'll have to watch there. Obviously, George Hill hasn't really seen his minutes spike. We'll see more of Furkan Korkmaz, more Tybal if Tobias and or Embiid can't go. And Doc Rivers had some interesting quotes. He was saying that he's not worried about the team's long-term health. It's just the missed games and getting guys in rhythm. And he said, quote, "I'm not resting guys," when he was asked about it. And then also something to put in the back pocket here. He said the question on Embiid for the playoffs is just a matter if he can play 35 minutes or 40 minutes. Said he was in really good shape too. So, I mean, man, Embiid, keep that in mind if you play DFS for the playoffs. I mean, if Embiid is playing 40 minutes, there could be some monster games. But just for the short term, I think Embiid's playing. So Tobias Harris has pretty good numbers with Embiid without Ben at 26, 8, and 5. Also, Embiid without Ben with Tobias, 37, 13, and 4 per 36. He'll kill Moses Brown. Just quickly on the OKC side of this, Lou Dort out. So Darius Bazley has really good numbers without Dort in the lineup last 15 games, 26, 8, and 2 per 36 for him. We'll obviously see a lot of Svi Mikhailuk, who will get a big bump in minutes. And also, Dagnall said he liked Roby as a small ball 5-man. So something to keep in mind there. Obviously, Moses Brown has lost a lot of his luster. Don't forget, too, Tony Bradley had a revenge game according to Dagnall. So, yeah, not a great Moses Brown day to start off the week. If you wanted to, move on, I'm fine. But they do have 5 games, so, don't make any hasty decisions. Mavs also have quite a few injuries on their injury report. We've got Kristaps questionable with that ankle injury that cost him Saturday. Luka Doncic clearly bothered by that elbow injury over Saturday as well. He is questionable. This is back-to-back. Maxi Kleber questionable with a back injury. Josh Richardson, hamstring tightness, cost him a game on Saturday. So, yeah, Rick Carlisle said that the biggest thing about Dorian Finney-Smith was he didn't have to play him a lot. So, Finney-Smith might play 40 minutes if all these guys are out. We know he loves Finney-Smith. Obviously had a big offensive game against the Lakers on Saturday as well. But, the obvious pickup here, I think you pick him up regardless, 5 games this week. You just play Jalen Brunson with or without Luka. They didn't use him much against the Lakers because they played bigger. They won't have that problem nearly as much here. So I'm expecting a huge week for Jalen Brunson. Let's get to the basketball action, starting with the matinee special here as the Hornets destroy the Celtics. Dropped 125 on them. Thought they had 40 assists, but they only scored 39 on the stat sheet here. But yeah, everyone played great. Real tight rotation was the headline to me. Going 8 men deep again. That's really what has happened here. Caleb Martin has gone bye-bye. Zeller went bye-bye as they pretty much played PJ as the main 5-man. Vernon Carey obviously went bye-bye. With a little bit of Biyombo in there as well. But, again, just super tight rotation here. And really, Miles Bridges is playing extremely well, PJ mentioned. Cody Martin really locking down minutes here as well, and the guards were great. Celtics dropped this one. Brad Stevens said they got outplayed, out-hustled, and out-coached. Kemba had a little bit of a back tweak, went to the locker room, came back, looked mostly fine. Struggles really just all around from this whole team. Nothing really to take away from it, though. Nets dropped 128 on the Suns for a day game road win. Kevin Durant back after 3 games for that thigh bruise. Doesn't start, still gets 28 minutes, scores 33, and wins an Oscar. So, yeah, Kevin Durant, man, we know, no doubt, this guy is just going to rack up numbers. He's totally unguardable, as is Kyrie. 34, 12 assists. Doesn't matter. Mikal Bridges was on him. Don't matter. Kyrie's just that good at this point. Suns dropped this one. Scored 119. Again, the defense was the problem. They really went after DeAndre Ayton early in this game. Ayton still had a pretty good game. He had a lot of easy shots on the offensive end. Devin Booker, pretty good game here too. He's playing kind of well offensively. And then the surprise here is Torrey Craig playing 32 minutes, scoring 20 with 14 boards. Jay Crowder can't go again. They played Julius Randle today. You might just start Craig. So keep an eye on that. Certainly, you're looking for like DFS punts or something like that. I'm kind of buying it. They obviously, Cam Johnson will get eaten alive against Julius Randle. So I think Craig could be a sneaky little streamer. Huge win for the Grizzlies, beating the Blazers again. Yeah, John Morant is fixed apparently. Hot stat here. In his last 15 games, he has a 55.3 effective field goal percentage. That's up from 37 in his previous games before this 15-game stretch. It's crazy how he's totally transformed his jumper into a weapon now. So that's huge for the Grizzlies, just from a functional offense standpoint. But yeah, Dylan Brooks, bad shot, but great defense on Dame. He said he likes to talk trash against them, and it was working to help him get the win. JV back, looking good, obviously. 21-10. He gets a date against the Joker. That should be fun. Joker ripped him up in the last one. Blazers drop another one. They're in trouble. I think they're probably playing game bound here. Dame's not right. Like, besides just missing jumpers sometimes, he's taking so many overly contested shots at the rim. He's usually so crafty to kind of get looks at making shots, but there's so many times he just like no one has no shot. So hopefully he gets that figured out. CJ and Norm certainly did fine, but rough game from Lord Robert Covington. Just buried people today with the 0-7. Had a couple air balls, I think. And then, yeah, too much Melo again. That's been an issue. Nurk's minutes are up. Nurk's been putting up pretty good stats lately, too. 8 straight wins for the Wizards. Lot to talk about here. Bradley Beal's great game, 33 points. Gets hurt late. It didn't look bad, but he was limping off. Did play for a little bit, was moving slow up the court, didn't close when the game was kind of decided for the last couple possessions. So back-to-back, probably think he's going to sit. Anthony Gill got the start. Kind of went away because Garrison Matthews was really hot off the bench for what he was providing. And then the other big headline, Daniel Gafford, 27 minutes, 8 stocks, 4 and 4 steals and blocks. Robin Lopez got hurt. We'll see what happens. Probably not playing in a back-to-back, so oh boy. Daniel Gafford looks like he's going to start off the week with a bang. Jared Allen and Gafford kind of go off against each other. Allen goes off. 27, that's a career high. 12 boards, 3 blocks, 2 steals. I mean, 10 to 12 from the field. Like, what a game from him. Darius Garland, man, he is playing awesome. Driving a ton, making drives, making jumpers, finding his teammates. 40 minutes. I mean, he's locked in. He's been playing like an early round guy lately, like he was earlier this season. So great from him. No Colin Sexton for a concussion, so presumably he's probably out for that back-to-back. Jetty Osman played pretty well after being out of the rotation. Gets 37 minutes to really cut into Larry Nance a little bit more. I thought Nance was going to pick up more run, but Nance kind of played okay. But yeah, Allen and Garland certainly are they've been looking great really since Allen returned from concussion. Hawks beat the Bucks, and the Bucks probably wish they had traded for Bogdan Bogdanovic. Kills them here, 32 points on stellar shooting, 12 of 21 with 6 threes. Runs the offense. He led the team in touch time 2 games ago. He's awesome. Nothing to say. He's been one of the best turnarounds. The guy couldn't get anything going when he returned from injury. Suddenly he's been an early round guy. Just awesome stuff from him. Cameron Huerter also playing really well. Clint Capella back after missing time. Keep an eye on him for the back-to-backs. John Collins also had a minutes cap in the last back-to-back. It's 31 today. So he may be limited against the Pistons. Maybe sits out as well. They should be fine to beat the Pistons. And so will Hill. Also picked up some run here. Gallo also 21 minutes for him. Somewhat surprising, Bucks play most of their guys on the back-to-back. PJ Tucker doesn't play. Giannis, kind of a full workload, 35 minutes. Middleton, 34. Holiday, 35. So they wanted this game. Didn't get it. Pacers drop 131, so a lot of big games here. Malcolm Brogdon went off. LeVert, kind of fine. O'Shea Brissett, again, a.k.a. Ice Bricks, as I call him. 13 and 8. Not quite as good as he was coming into this one, but still, minutes are secure. Bjorkman wants to play him 3 through 5, so he'll be getting minutes every night. Jakar Sampson paid the center spot much better than he did on Saturday. 11, 5, and 2 blocks. Should be pretty close to 30 minutes while Goga's out. Goga's probably going to miss at least one more, I would guess. Sabonis doesn't even sound like he's close, which is rough. Hurt me in the league bad. But, McDermott returned, shot the ball pretty well, but not really into him. Probably be capped because that ankle thing's been kind of lingering. Another rough injury for the Magic. Devin Kennedy, really ugly ankle injury. He's going to be out for the season. Still no James Ennis, Terrence Ross, and Michael Carter-Williams. Steve Clifford said last week that's the order he expects him to come back, so likely no Ross today for the back-to-back. So RJ Hampton kind of on the radar. Wendell Carter Jr. had a minutes cap. Garbage time was a factor here. Probably would have been looking at mid-20s, so we'll see if he plays in the back-to-back. He might not, which would get Mo Bamba elevated playing time, and then get Dante Hall in the mix. Gonna save the late game for the solo pod. I am way ahead on matchups, so we'll be up earlier on Monday. Obviously, DeLon, you're gonna want to pick him up Terrence Davis. In order, I got DeLon as a top pickup. Think he's going to have a really big role. We know he's pretty good per minute. OJ Brissett really sold on his workload. Cody Martin, if your team's going to play 8 men, there's some value there, so I'm into him. Edmund Sumner, not totally buying, but buying enough that I want to pick him up in deeper leagues or stream him. RJ Hampton could benefit, especially if no Ross and Ennis. Mentioned Terrence Davis. Jetty Osman, yeah, I mean, a concussion, you probably think that he's going to miss more games, Colin Sexton it is. And then Torrey Craig, maybe some short-term value just as a stream today against Julius Randle. That's it. Catch you early afternoon for the Solo Pod.